Because over the years I've had the opportunity to not just work around the Great Barrier Reef, but also have a fair bit of time to dive the Great Barrier Reef as well. And personally, I don't think there's a nicer place on this planet. And I'm sure people who have had the same opportunities I've had would probably say the same thing. And there are some very serious threats to the Great Barrier Reef at the moment. So I was more than happy to come on board with these organisations to just help where I can to save the reef.
So Bob, are there particular developments or proposals that are specific concerns for you with the future of the Barrier Reef?
Yes, Miriam, there is. One thing that bothers me greatly is when they dredge the harbours, and where the government's proposing to expand 5 harbours along the coastal area of Queensland. When they dredge these harbours, millions of tonnes of toxic spoil has to be removed, and at the moment that spoil is going to be dumped in the ocean, probably adjacent to the Great Barrier Reef. And we've already seen areas like Gladstone that's been turned into a war zone. And I just don't want to see Australians lose the Great Barrier Reef.
So Bob, you don't think that current environmental assessments and those sorts of strategies are enough to ensure that the Great Barrier Reef will be protected?
I think it's been proven in the past that the current laws aren't worth anything.
But what about the impact to the economy? I mean, Queensland's undergoing something of a boom, and obviously the mining industry is a big factor when we're talking about these port developments. Is there not a concern that being too restrictive on what happens there will have an adverse impact on the economy?
Miriam, we also have to look at possibly 80% of the revenue that comes from mining leaves this country, is not spent in this country, whereas the tourism industry, which is worth $6 billion and supports around about 60,000 jobs, all benefits Queensland. And should we allow this type of progress to take place at the expense not only of our environment, but for our future children?
Now, UNESCO is looking at the Great Barrier Reef and may, in fact, later this year list it as an endangered environment. Do you think that will have an impact in terms of how developments proceed there?
That in itself is a terrible thing for this country. To think that one of the most beautiful places in the world is at risk just because we have a greedy government. I don't think it's acceptable.